the real estate agent you choose to work with matters more than ever, especially if you are selling. And I'll tell you why. Here's an example. We had a client that was referred to us by another agent that was looking to sell their property in Vancouver. I called up this seller and said, we would like to meet with you. This individual from another brokerage referred us. His name was Darcy. Basically, Darcy said to me that, Adam, I've interviewed 3 agents already and I've kind of chosen who am I going to go with, who I'm going to work with. And I don't really want to waste your time. So my thing was to, Darcy, please give us an opportunity to meet with you. At least you get to hear my opinion and your options before you make a decision. Sure enough, I got an appointment. I went to see Darcy. And at the end of my presentation, Darcy chooses to hire me. Now, he said three things as to why he hired us over the other agents, even though he had made up his mind to go with them, is knowledge, the energy we bring to the table, and the level of confidence. That's it. He doesn't tell me anything else. He was just impressed with those 3 factors. We list a property, we sell it within a week. A week later, we go to see Darcy and he tells us as to why they chose to, list with us besides those 3 things that he had already mentioned. The other 3 agents had given him a price variance of anywhere between 1.6 to 1.7, all 3 agents. Now, these agents were absolutely right on the price based on paper, based on recent sales. And that's exactly how an average agent works. When they're doing a CMA or when they're evaluating your home, is this sold for this much, this one is available for this is what you should list for. As I said, these agents were right with 3 exceptions, okay? And the 3 exceptions that we kind of found that the other agents failed to sell are, number 1, this property had a specific zoning. It had a specific zoning that the city of Vancouver would allow it. The FSR, the floor to space ratio, is generally about 0.6 or 0.7 in city of Vancouver, give or take. Now on this particular property, city of Vancouver was allowing up to 2.45, providing that you keep the existing foundation and just submit some drawings with your architect, and you can get creative and build up to 2.45. That's huge. Number 2 is this particular property was close to a SkyTrain station. Infrastructure. Now, this is very important that your agents look at infrastructure when they are selling. It's extremely important. Now, this SkyTrain station had an extension. This particular property is, for example, a few years back was by the Broadway commercial SkyTrain. Now, I knew that as far as the Broadway to UBC, SkyTrain, subway, or whatever light train was going to happen. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when it was going to happen. Now, we obviously, when that takes place, not only it adds value to the property, but as you all know, it changes zoning within that area, and that obviously increases the values of the property. The third thing that these people missed, these other agents missed, is the power of supply and demand. They basically just looked at this is sold for this much sold, this one sold for this, and this is what you should list. But we did one more thing that they didn't do. Not only we looked at those sales, yes, they're just sales indicators, but we were in a market where things were going like this every week, prices were increasing. So we went on our system and we looked at what is available that's similar to this property up to 1.6. We kept going, 1.7, 1.8, what's available? Nothing really. Not to mention those 3 other factors that we mentioned, or the 2 other factors plus power of supply and demand. So we went in there and listed this property for $2.4 million, okay? That's basically 800,000, 700,000 to 800,000 above the other 3 agents that had basically evaluated the property. Now we listed at $2.4 million and we sold this property within 1 week for 2.5. $100,000 over asking. Not only we were 700,000 to 800,000 above the other agents as far as our list price, but we ended up selling it for another 100,000 on top of that. And the individual that bought it was an investor, and we basically emphasized and sold them on those three things we mentioned, unique about the property. And that's what got the investor buying. So again, who you work with, or who you choose to hire as an agent, matters more than ever, because that seller pocketed an extra $800,000. Yet I see so many people as to choosing their agent because they say, oh, he was giving me an extra $2,000 discount, or this guy was a family friend. You know, imagine $2,000 versus $800,000, you know? So the discount doesn't really mean much. In fact, that agent that you're hiring because you think you're getting $2,500 off could end up costing you $800,000. Like, for example, in this case. Anyways, that's just one story. We have hundreds of stories like that. And I hope you will give us an opportunity to sit down with you when you do decide to list, at least hear what we have to say before you choose an agent. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.